Hey everybody, welcome to today's NorthXshow Quickie. Coming to you today from Interstate 29 in the state of South Dakota. What I've got to talk about today is a viral video. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's a video that involves a mass transit bus driver in Cleveland who is being basically yelled at by a young black female. In this video, you can't quite tell what she's arguing about. The video starts, it's obviously from somebody's cell phone. The video starts with a clouded, kind of crowded view of the front of the bus, and it looks as though she, as she's yelling at him, and he yells back at her, it looks like somebody cut up your face. And now I'm going somewhere, so follow along. It's a funny video. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link up here when I post this episode of today's Quickie. But if you want to check it out as you're listening to this, you can open another window and just type into YouTube bus driver uppercuts girl, and it'll show up there. As she's yelling at him, he yells back at her, basically makes a comment about that her face looks cut up, and she lunges forward, and we can't quite see what she does, but she lunges forward towards him. Now, keep in mind, this guy's driving the bus. You see the bus kind of move around, and and he yells, and this is the catchphrase, "You going to jail now!" And the bus driver, of course, is also black. He pulls the bus over, gets up, and proceeds to lay an uppercut on this girl, and I use the term girl very loosely. Lays an uppercut on her unlike anything I have ever seen in my life. I've watched the UFC. I've watched boxing. I've watched street fights. I've never seen a punch land on a person with the force that this one does. It literally just about knocks her head off. Remember Rock'em Sock'em Robots? That's what this looked like. I kid you not. And I laugh at it because it is funny because of the catchphrase, "You going to jail now!" And then more yelling ensues, and he proceeds to grab her and throw her off the bus on her face. Now, this girl comes back in. She doesn't get knocked out like you'd think she would. She comes back in and goes after him again, and they have to hold her away from him. And at the end of the video, the bus driver is one of the female passengers on the bus. You don't get to see her, but she says, what's wrong with you? You hit a female. And he says, this, and I quote, "She want to act like a man? I'm going to treat her like a man." Now, that's where I'm at with today's Quickie. With all the feminism and women's rights and equality, equal pay for equal work, a lot of women will tell you and have told me they're equal to men. Now, I don't want to argue that point, but what I do want to argue is this point. I don't even really want to argue it. I want to ask you a question. Women are equal with men, right? Equal. Equality across the board. You ladies, you're equal. So then does that mean that this bus driver had a perfect right to punch this woman in the face? Why can't we hit women if they got it coming? I mean, that statement alone may be somewhat out there. I personally would never hit a woman. I just wouldn't do it. I believe that women are to be protected, and this is, no matter what they would do to me. Of course I would protect myself if I was being attacked. Of course I would do what I would have to do if some woman was attacking a member of my family. Of course, that goes without saying. But in general, I teach my son, we don't hit girls. You do not do that. But at the same time, like this bus driver said, if you want to act like a man, I'm going to treat you like a man. And trust me, watch the video, you'll see what this woman was doing. And she was acting like a man. She was acting like she could do this to this guy and do it with impunity because, as you all know, most men ain't going to stand up and throw an uppercut at a girl. This guy did it. And I'm sure he's going to lose his job. I'm sure he's going to be fired. Maybe he should, maybe he shouldn't. I want to know what you think. I want to get your input, both men and women alike. If a woman acts like a man, should she be treated like a man? If you're going to get in some guy's face, should you be able to do that knowing full well that the guy's not going to hit you back? Having, I guess, a relatively sure thought that you're not going to be hit back by the guy. Obviously, in this case, he hit back. And there are guys who will hit back. That's a fact. And is that wrong? That's the question I have for you today. Is that wrong? Is what he did wrong? You watched the video. You tell me. I want to know what you think. Is it wrong for this guy to basically knock this woman's block off? All right, there you go. I just hit 5 minutes. I'm going to try and keep to my goal. northernexposureshow@gmail.com. You can always email me there, or you can always leave me a message on Facebook. Check out my website, www.northxshow.com. I will have that video posted there hopefully by the time this gets put up. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.